Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and we're back out here in my garage to answer another viewer question and have another upcoming projects video because we got a lot of cool new stuff on the workbench today that's going into queue. But let's answer the question first. And I've been trying to get through a lot of the basic questions I get asked a lot on either one of my channels. And tonight's question is, why do I review guns that are discontinued? And I thought that was a great question. And the person that asked it, I believe, was asking me on a video where I was reviewing an older firearm. I think it was an AMT. And from the way that they kind of phrased the question, I think they were a little bit frustrated in that they probably watch a lot of gun content where the gun reviewers, like the bigger channels, who are of course sponsored, are always reviewing the latest and greatest stuff. And this goes to the philosophy of my channel, that I'm an average gun guy that likes all guns. It doesn't matter if the gun was manufactured last week or 100 years ago. I'm fascinated by the history, the mechanics, the whats, the hows, and the whys. And I love learning about guns, and I like to share what I learn about guns with all of you. Now, you might not be interested in what I have to say or the guns that I review, and that's totally fine, but I try to have a complete mix of everything. I like to think, being an average gun guy making average gun content for average gun viewers, that you get a little bit of everything from me. You get some variety. And when I make a review on a gun, there's a reason why I titled them range reports instead of gun reviews. I do believe that a gun review typically will be focused on a more current production gun. But a range report is simply documenting my experiences with a particular firearm and explaining to you what I discover, what I learn, and sharing my experiences. You know, it's kind of like being a car guy. You know, there are many cars out there that you might be interested in that are no longer in production, but you might want to read an article on them or watch a show about it. So for example, I know my friend Matt, local fan and subscriber here, he loves Mustangs, and I was going to use this as an example. Let's just say you're a big fan of the mid-90s 5.0 Mustangs. Now, obviously, those aren't made anymore, but you'd like to know more about them. Maybe that was the car you fantasized about having when you were in high school, and you go and watch a video on somebody that happens to have an all-stock, all-original 5.0 Mustang. No, it's not something that you can go down to the dealership and buy today. It's not something that maybe you have easy access to, but you're like, that was my dream car, and I want to know more about it. I want to look at all the options that were on that car in the 1990s. Yeah, it's not the same as a car made today. Things have obviously changed. Things have been upgraded. You know, the different choices people have today and what they desire out of a car is different. But it's like a time capsule that you get to go back in and go, wow, this is what it was like to drive a 5.0 Mustang, and it has a particular look. Things that would never sell today. But you watch that content. And that's what I want to create for people that are interested in the guns that I shoot. I know that not every review I make is going to be watched by everybody. I seriously doubt that anybody has ever seen every single one of my videos, with the exception of me. So that's why I review the guns that I do. And also, I review the guns that are lent to the channel. Now, I have a pretty extensive collection. Occasionally I get them out, but right now I'm in the process of reviewing other people's guns who are so generous. And I'm telling you, the Texas Gun Vault cannot exist without the kindness and the generosity of others. And some people just like and, subscribe to my content, and that means a lot. Some people comment, which helps the algorithm. I have some people that do occasional, what are they called? Super thanks, where you can it's like where you comment, you can send money or whatever to support the channel. I have Patreon supporters. I have an ammo sponsor, Brownworks, an amazing grip company. I have lots of people that lend guns to the channel, or have lent guns to the channel, or have bought things for the channel, or donated things to the channel. I have people that have bought me cameras. My friend David. I have other people that have recently, not recently, but have given the audio equipment that I use. They were just a husband and wife that saw my channel and go, he needs to upgrade his audio, and literally sent me a wireless mic that I use to this day. Just the generosity of people is unbelievable. Like the guns I have on the table today are from my friend D. Obviously, my friend David has lent some things to the channel. I mentioned him with the camera because the first couple of cameras I had were sent to me by a YouTube a subscriber, and he goes by The Doctor. And I don't know, my channel is just constantly blessed. And there's so many people that I want to thank, but honestly, the number is so big. So when it comes to the guns that I review, sometimes it's like, hey, people want to let me borrow something. And sometimes they're brand new, sometimes they're old and vintage, and that's awesome. So if you're somebody that has supported my channel in any way, from just watching the channel all the way up to lending guns to the channel or donating something to the channel, like my friend Craig when it comes to the lineman trigger pull weight gauge, or both of my friends, Jack, you name it. And as I said, there's so many people that I hate even to bring up the names, because I'm going to forget somebody that I've encountered on this journey, and they're going to think, oh my God, he hates me or doesn't like me. And that's not the case. There's just literally so many people that it's so humbling. So when people lend guns to the channel for me to review and want me to review them, I'm going to review them. And I don't necessarily control what they are. So, because I'm not a sponsored channel, no firearms manufacturer sends me stuff. So I review whatever I can to get all that content out. So that is why I review discontinued guns. Just because they're guns. And hopefully you're here because you love guns. So there you go. So now let's get to the upcoming projects. Now, I was finishing up my video today, which is actually inside rendering and uploading on the Heckler & Koch HK4, the gun that I told you I blew up. And so I'm trying to get that video out so the owner, David, can see the video. And by the way, I have set it in the upload release for August of next year. That's how many videos I've made. I'm that far ahead. It's unbelievable. But my friend D messaged me and goes, hey, I know you're done with that big stack of guns I had lent you. I have some more for you. So I went and I met him today, and I gave him what I have reviewed and cleaned up for him, because you guys know anytime somebody lends something to the channel, I mean, I detail clean it. I try to show them the respect and go, listen, thank you for lending it to the channel, and I'll fix anything wrong with it that might need to get worked on or whatever, and I return it to them. And he has some cool stuff for me today. And this is actually quite different, because I've been reviewing a lot of very similar styles of guns, lots of 2011s, lots of kind of high-end ARs, and we don't have that on the table today with the exception of one 2011. So let's go over what is going to go in queue. And by the way, the next gun that goes to the range that I'll probably have a first impressions video on is that Springfield Armory subcompact 1911 back there, which is David's. So let's go with the 2011 first. And two of the guns on the table today are going to make people's eyes roll. Not most of you, but the people that love these guns, because they hate it when I review the guns because I don't review them in the way they want me to. 2011s are a great example, because many times people that like to watch content on these guns are the people that are, you know, race gun enthusiasts, people that are competition shooters, people that like to go watch the tactical bearded operators run and gun and do amazing things and wear all their gear, and, you know, they're wearing shirts that are way too tight and that kind of stuff. And I'm definitely not that. I'm just an average gun guy that gets to get some trigger time on some amazing guns. So the first gun I want to show you tonight that's going into queue is the Phoenix Trinity Honcho, and it's the X Covert. Now, that's a really weird name for a pistol, the Honcho. And I think I have reviewed another pistol from this manufacturer, and this is a true race gun. in that it has a few features on it that are definitely a little bit out of the norm for me. First off, this gun does not have a last round slide hold open. So even though the magazine is in it, and these magazines have that option removed, I also believe the slide release does not work with that. So it will not hold back. And that is because this gun is not designed to be loaded with the slide open to prevent over-insertion of magazines. So it's just a little bit different for me. I like guns that do. I'm not a competitive shooter, but I understand why people want that. It also has like a little cocking lever on the side. Now, that is kind of cool. Very different for me. I like the placement of it. And I like that where it's not towards the back of the slide. So that's going to be a new experience for me. This gun does have a compensator. But I got to say, if it has a compensator on it, I like this setup more than the ones that are integrated into the slide because it adds a little bit of extra weight. And the compensator extends further than the frame. So the gun doesn't have that weird boxy look that I don't like. The controls appear to be very stiff. Like this thumb safety, to take it off is easy, but to put it on is very difficult. And I got to look and see if that's the way it's meant to be. But running the action of the slide, man, that is smooth. That is real smooth. It kind of reminds me of the early 2011s I shot. And I kind of feel like 2011s have evolved since I've been reviewing them, because companies are always trying to outdo each other. And the early ones always felt like the recoil springs were not sprung enough. And the slides just moved almost too easy. And that's the way this one feels. I mean, I'm barely using any effort to manipulate that. And when it comes to the trigger pull on this, yeah, that's pretty darn light. I'm going to estimate that's at 2 pounds, somewhere around 2 pounds. But this gun is designed to be a race gun, but of course I'm going to put it through my usual battery of tests. So the race gun enthusiasts aren't going to like it and tell me how stupid I am for reviewing it that way. That's not what the gun's designed to do. Whatever, you need to go get more training. And I'm not going to do any of that because I'm not a competitive shooter. But I can't wait to get this to the range. So the Phoenix Trinity Honcho X Covert. And I don't really think there's much covert to this because it's so big, but it is what it is. All right, so that's the pistol. All right, next up is the other gun that people are fans of this style of gun usually hate me reviewing. In fact, I deleted a comment. I really need to do a mean comments of the week video again. And of course, I always get sometimes I call them AK tards, but I think I want to call them Kalishnitards. People that are, the AK is the greatest gun of all time, and their mind is closed to anything else. And it's not because I hate the AK or think it's a bad gun. I think it's a fantastic gun. But the people that just have that AK mentality, man, they can be the worst. And every time I review an AK, I'm told how I do it wrong, how I suck at it, how I need to go watch whoever. And of course, I delete all those comments. Don't tell me who to go watch, because I do it my way, right? It's like the Frank Sinatra song, My Way. I did it my way. And this one is one sweet AK. So take a look at this bad boy. Now, I actually have to, because it is kind of late at night, I need to get my glasses out, because some of the writing on some of the stuff I got to talk about tonight is really, really tiny. And man, I got these progressive lenses, and sometimes it takes my eyes a second to get used to them. But here we go. We got the Special Projects Division Meridian Defense. So this is another Meridian Defense AK. And man, is this thing modernized. Take a look at this finish. And by the way, I believe this gun is unshot. So D is letting me pop its cherry. So we have an M4 stock here on the rear. Take a look at this camo pattern. D loves the chocolate chip camo patterns. I don't think this is really chocolate chip, but it kind of has that same color scheme. I don't think you have the darkness that you sometimes have in that camo pattern, but it sure looks good. And then the flat dark earth, beautiful finish on this thing. The receiver is a stamped receiver, which I like. It's the way God intended with these. And man, this magwell, man, that thing just works so well. Sometimes when it comes to AKs, if it's not, milled out right, it's not smooth. And that magwell feels really nice. Running the action, man, you can tell that is a completely different feel than a lot of the other AKs you get, especially the imported ones. Man, that thing is so smooth. And take a look at this handguard out here. It looks like it has an adjustable gas block on the end. Man, it has like a shovel nose type of handguard out front. Man, this thing is just awesome. The only thing I don't like about this setup, and I might take it off for this review, is this hand stop. And I'll make sure to take a picture of it to put it back on in the exact place for my friend D. Only because when it comes to my size, I feel like it's out just a little bit too far. I kind of feel like, yeah, I might either move it or take it off, and then, of course, when I return it, I'll put it back on. But, man, that trigger is nice. I wonder what trigger that is. I have no idea. I have to do my research on all these and give you the exact models. And because he's an awesome gentleman and has put me on his gun trust, he has a suppressor for this. Now, I've never shot any of the AK suppressors. I was always fascinated by was it the Dead Air Wolverine? Because it was supposed to be a pretty faithful copy to the original AK suppressors from Russia. But this one is different. It sure looks like those AK suppressors. And I'm going to take that off and let me show you this muzzle device, because I probably need to document this because this gun is unshot. But take a look at that beautiful finish on that muzzle device, because once I shoot this gun, it's going to be coated in carbon. So there again, so there it is. So there's a quick detach system. And this suppressor, this is why I had to get the glasses out, is from Zastava Arms USA. So Zastava, you guys know, imports all of the, what is it? It's the Serbian AKs, I think. But of course, suppressors, if they're sold in the U.S., have to be made in the U.S. So obviously they're making them here. And what you don't notice is that this is obviously 3D printed. I mean, you can see there from the end. I'm not a huge fan of the 3D printed texture. It always kind of feels a little bit cheap. And I did review one of the B&T suppressors as well, and it kind of it worked great. And I know these are super durable. But I've had other items that people have given me, not gun related, but like little like one of my students made me a lightsaber, like a copy of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from Return of the Jedi, and it was a 3D printed model, and it was pretty flimsy. Now I know this is not made of the same material. This is made of, you know, some type of, you know, additive manufacturing metal fiber, but it always has that same texture, and so I have that same feel in my mind of what a 3D printed object is. But this thing is so light. As I said, I'm going to have to do some research and see what the material it's made from is. And when I look inside, I am a little bit disappointed in the way the baffles look, because it is 3D printed, and I know it's not going to show up on camera, but it just looks a little bit rough. Not that that's going to change anything about the suppression or the durability of the suppressor. You can just tell it was not a baffle stack that was machined from, you know, bar stock steel or titanium or any of that. But it's going to be really cool to suppress an AK. As far as I can remember, I don't think I've suppressed an AK before. So I'm going to do a review on this guy and the Zastava Arms. Let me see what the actual model is. It's the VUK 7.62 millimeter. So that's going to be a cool one. And I hope you guys are enjoying, you know, I got to get that guy on there. I hope you guys are enjoying my suppressor reviews and like the format that I use. All right, so there you go. What a cool AK. I have a feeling my friend Matt is really going to like that because he loves AKs. But he has told me he's warmed up to the AR-15 a little bit more. So, all right, so that's a cool one. Let me go put this one over here on the wall. And be careful here. Let me move this 1911. And I love this hold-up displays wall. Love this thing. All right, there we go. I'll have to work with this to make it look a little bit better a little bit later. All right, so that's going to work for now. Okay, so now we have two 22 caliber rifles, and this is from, oh geez, I forgot. I know what it is. Gray and Birch. Now this is a company I've never heard of before, and the first one is kind of a Ruger 1022 clone. In fact, both these rifles, I think, use Ruger magazines. In fact, it has a Ruger magazine in this. So let's see here. Yeah, so it uses like the 1022 rotary magazines. And essentially this thing is like a 1022 on steroids, kind of like one from Volkortsen. But I don't think these are like crazy expensive, but it has like a carbon fiber barrel. I mean, the finish on this thing is gorgeous. This whole setup is super light. You have the skeletonized stock. Take a look at this like receiver here in the back. That looks really cool. Pistol grip, I absolutely love. I like this magazine release with a lever here right underneath the trigger guard. I like that a lot better than the standard Ruger ones. That is going to be a lot of fun. So I don't have a lot of 22 content. He said I should probably put on a scope on this thing. So he has a Aimpoint Acro on it right now, but I think I might use this for some things. Like he said, this is not really designed to be a target rifle or a plinking rifle. It's kind of both. So I'll probably review it in both capacities. So I'll review it as just a fun plinking rifle at the shorter distance range, and then I'll try to take it out to longer distances. And he provided a suppressor for this one. And this one is the Advanced Armament Element 22 Win Mag. So I guess obviously we can suppress 22 long rifle with it. So another AAC suppressor finished in that kind of cool gold color, which does match the motif of this rifle. That's a beautiful, beautiful rifle. I am so impressed by that. I really like that. So if you like Ruger 1022s and ones that are kind of tricked out and upgraded, you might like this one a lot. Oh, there's one other thing for that AK that he also sent. It's the RS Regulate mount. So he asked me to put that on. So I need to put that on that AK rifle as well. And the other one here is the Gray and Birch. And I don't have the exact model, and I have to do all my research. People always say, you shouldn't talk about guns unless you've done all the research. I literally just got like back into the garage with this thing and like took them out of the cases. So, you know, this is just my upcoming projects. Obviously, before I film the reports, I'm going to actually do all the research and get the thumbnails right and the title right. But this one has a Volkortsen Summit receiver on it, but this is a straight pull rifle. So it's bolt action, I guess straight pull. So this little lever right here, that's it. That's how you unlock and lock the rifle. So this one I do believe is designed to be a Precision 22. Has a very similar carbon fiber barrel, kind of a very similar chassis with that cool cutout here in the rear. Same stock, same magazine release. It should feed from a Ruger magazine. Yep, rotary magazine right there. And the suppressor we have on this bad boy is, oh boy, what is this one? This is the Combat Applications Technologies. And it is the, boy, I cannot see the model number on this. It says CAT SRA1. I guess that's the model number. So this one also feels 3D printed. So obviously this one's going to be more of a precision rifle that I will review at the longer distance range, and I'll get to review the silencers as well. I'll probably review this silencer on the semi-auto one, or the semi-auto rifle as well, because of the tests that I do. I don't think I'll be able to do a quick mag dump with this thing, with it being a straight pull. But I've never reviewed a straight pull rifle before. That is kind of cool. So that is what I have upcoming on the Texas Gun Vault and what I got to put into queue. So let me know what you think about anything I have into the channel for review, and what do you think about my response to the comment about why do I review discontinued firearms. So I've had a great time answering these questions. And if you guys have any questions that you want to ask me regarding the channel, regarding guns, my thoughts on anything, I'd be happy to make a video on it. So let me know. So if you made it to the end of this video, the word of the day that you can use in the comment to let me know that you made it to the end is, ooh, this one you'll never get. So hard to use. Well, I guess it's 2 words. Is it 2 words or 1 word? Chocolate chip. Because my friend D likes chocolate chip camo patterns. Man, that is a hard word to use in a sentence if you're just trying to comment and kind of be sly about it. So anyway, chocolate chip is the word of the day. So thanks for joining me here in the Hot Garage, and thanks for the awesome dialogue we have every day here at the Texas Gun Vault, and I hope you're enjoying my content on my main channel. So, as always, thanks for watching.